Ah, yes, there you are. As governor and under the auspices of the Valiant Trading Company, please allow me to officially welcome you to Port March.
I'd like to say the pleasure's all mine, but I try not to lie. Don't worry, I'm only here on account of her.
Of course. I see you've been as quick to involve yourself as ever. I'll ask my guards to find some feed for your animal. Apologies for that little drama outside. These are confusing times, and people often react poorly to uncertainty. Between the storm, the pirates, and the, well, certain strange events, we are all a little on edge. A few, well, quite a few people here in Port Marche claim to have seen a giant of some kind during the storm. I would call it a flight of fancy, but unless something has tainted every well in the region, I do not think it can be ignored. But then, the Deadfire is a land full of such things. You must have heard the stories. You'll find good company among the Dawn Stars here in town. They have all manner of theories concerning the behemoth. Now, to the matter of your ship. You're stranded, are you? It was a rough landing by all reports. Unfortunately, our own ships are in no condition to sail. We've had dealings with the pirates ourselves. They've taken their share of supply ships. The storm saw to those berthed in the harbor. All that said, I believe I may have a solution, provided you're willing to help me in turn. Cadnua? A dear wooden castle, is it? An interesting proposal, to be sure, but I'm afraid the matter at hand is rather urgent. I have the guards on the lookout for pirate vessels looking to take advantage of whatever damage the storm caused. We've cannons enough to see them off, but I need every man ready to use them. There is a site of some considerable value elsewhere on the island. A value to the trading company, you understand. In point of fact, it's the very reason any of us are here. You're familiar with the luminous Adra trade? Are you indeed? How very interesting. Do you know, they'd have a great deal of interest in speaking with you at headquarters. Something to consider. Well, luminous Adra is to Adra what a fine wine is to, well, never mind that. The point is that it is a particularly potent material, suffused with essence, and it is only found right here in the Deadfire archipelago. It's also quite valuable. When refined, it sells for considerable sums. The trading company has invested a lot of time and money into locating sites suitable for mining and processing. That's a colorful way of putting it. Energy, really, is more apt. It's not quite a matter of digging up the spirit of your old grandmother.
Spin it however you like. The gods are gonna grind your soul to bits for this sin.
We will have to agree to disagree. We, and I hope you understand that these matters require some discretion, have one such outpost on the other side of the island. A successful venture. We sought to improve the refinement process. To that end, we hired some of the brightest minds in the field of animancy and brought them out here to lend their expertise. And then one evening, a storm rolls in out of nowhere, and my scouts begin to report that the giant has marched its way across the island towards my dig site. What am I to make of that? We haven't heard from Mestre Odorisi since, nor any of his assistants, or the workers. I must know what has happened. If Odorisi, if his work is lost, then everything that we have worked for is at risk, which is where you come in. You need a ship, I need information. See to this for me, and I'll set half the town to work. We'll patch up your ship, and you'll be free to go on your way. Why, take his report on the situation and remind him that he's under certain contractual obligations.
I told you what happened, but you wouldn't listen to me. We could have prepared for this level of destruction. But what do I know? I'm just a priestess with prophetic dreams.
The Huana storm speakers should have kept the worst of the weather at bay. I can't imagine what else might have happened. There are wild beasts on the island, but they wouldn't have attacked an active dig site. Well, if Aothis happens to strike down the council, perhaps then I will have time to spare for him. Ha! Please do not repeat that. Whatever you believe is going on, you can see it for yourself. That is precisely... Gilad, then we are agreed. I will assign men to keep watch over your ship. You will find the dig site on the eastern side of the island. I'll mark it on your map, here.
You'll do it for the Watcher, but not for me? I see how it is.
Yes. Why wouldn't I want a pack of Dawn Stars crawling over my Adra mine in search of their lost deity? One more thing. If you should recover Odorisi's notes, know that they would be of great value to me. What can I do for you? Certainly. It may not have the grandeur of Ostia or Enchanzi, but I am proud of what we have created here. We've established strong supply lines, and our research rivals any performed in the Republics on better days. They keep to themselves for the most part. We have little reason to interfere, and any Huana willing to work are paid for it. We get a few of those. Perhaps village life is too simple for them. They say things are very different under Queen Onekaza II. She has unified many of the Huana under her banner. Ikawa is one of the last holdouts. It works fine for our purposes. She is easier to negotiate with. Scouts reported finding Ingwithan ruins along with a promising Adra vein, and the locals were welcoming enough. Any venture of this size is difficult. Even so, the hard part was not convincing people to join us, but weeding out undesirable individuals. Not long ago, the whole archipelago was beneath notice, a place of warring tribes and grotesque sea beasts. The lands here belong to the Huana, for now. If you ask the Royal Deadfire Company, that will not last. Dispatched by the Ranganui of Rawatai himself. That would be their emperor, or king, perhaps. If you have any questions at all, yes? Something you...
What can I do you for? Hoo-wee! About time we took a breather. My feet are blistered something fierce. Tell me what's on your mind? We talking during the Saints' War or after he died? Well, before he died, he was still Aothis as the majority of my brethren know him. Aothis embodied a human, and when that human got blown to bits, we all believed Aothis died. And I think a part of him did, the part he'd most closely woven into living flesh, the part that represented life, and rebirth after death. Which means the part of him that could have survived, that stormed across the Deadfire seas, was the side more aligned with obsidian, rot, and falling away. That which is death. I really only know what my folks taught me. Aethys embodied Saint Widwin, but during the war, he got blown to bits. That's the thing about human bodies. Eventually, they all gotta die. As the god of rebirth, of course, Aethys would be coming back. But where I differ from my family's view, and my High Priestess's view, is that I've studied the apotheosis of Gone. And I know all about the backside, the downward swoop, the death part of the cycle of life. Obsidian, rot, regrowth. What's gone can never be again. What comes back is changed. Always. Even if what comes back is a... Then you mean gone? Sure, maybe my god still answers to Aethys as well. Why not? But Aethys died, and death requires change. He ain't what he was. Not in exactly the same way. That's why I think his other aspect, his darkness in the light, is what's burning brighter in him now. No need to fiddle-foot around. I'm listening. Reckon not. But I can't help but be a touch wayward. I don't take it too far. My ma caught me once necking in the Merkberry stalks. And of course I fight. But I've not done much more than that. And I don't use the real ugly words. Sometimes the feelings, they just come tumbling right out of me. Gods darn it. It's time I got about searching for lost souls. Certainly. Oh.
You must gather your party before venturing forth. I'm keeping Papa company till he's better.
Most days I'd fire up the kettle for you or something. Sorry.
A spy, no doubt about it.
Quite the dramatic entrance for a spy.
Yes? What is it I can do for you? We are stretched thin. The storm speaker did much to help, but much of the town has flooded. Now we are awash in homeless citizens and stranded merchants, to say nothing of the cultists out there. Now I have Ilari's people making trouble up on Gorechi Street. His little gang is looting everything they can get their hands on, and the Bozzo kicks up his heels like a prince.
Lucky for you that I'm around. I, humbly offer my services. Let me out and I will bring you this Ilari's teeth.
Shut it, Rigere. Something you wanted? Kue, I cannot say it would not be welcome, but you are only recently arrived, and not I here by choice. Why do this? And you are a sensible woman, I see. Fair enough. Gorechi Street is in the western part of town. Just walk until you hit water. We don't need a bloodbath. I'm sure there's a peaceful solution to resolve this. I'd appreciate your looking for it. We lost no one to the storm, but many homes have been damaged, and the people are terrified of this giant the scouts reported. It is chaos, pure and simple. What happened? I showed the drunken fool more patience and respect than he deserved, and he struck me without warning.
Sientere, Savia. You know that I was aiming for Darmo's pretty face. Ado, stranger. Or is it captain? You have the carriage of a captain. A noble bearing all around. Apretta, you must free me. I am a creature of the sea. I am not meant for this dark place. I will dry and wither like a landed fish. I did no one any harm. I am at the Kraken's eye so often Thorol should pay me. I sample every bottle for quality. My loyalty has...
You walked out on a tab, Rigere. Nothing to boast of. And then you crawled up to the governor's estate, pissed on the steps, and resisted arrest.
What is a little piece? Look at her. Her animal must urinate on everything. Does she raise a fuss? Merla, I do not remember that at all. Right on the steps? I am sorry for the last. I tell you, Savia, I cannot help my magnificent reflexes. You were being very grabby. Do I know ships? She asks. I know every vessel on these waters. Every one, from the galleon to the... Every one of them, madam. You have enemies? These fists will drive them into the waiting arms of the sea. You see how fate has brought us together? The ice-hearted guard. She has set my fine at 400 pyres. I have a matter of coin. 400 beautiful coins. That or the key, yes? The door is the thing. The commander, she guards the keys like a jealous wife. It would take steady hands to slip it from her pocket. That is, you think me idle to ask this of you and do nothing? I have scratched, madam, a little mortar from beneath the bars at the window at every chance. The stone Norgund in the Kraken's eye. He carries many such useful items. All for legitimate use, of course. Animancers, they love explosives.
Keeping out of trouble? A little jest. Eccoci. Why should I do that? To show my appreciation for his aim? Ruggieri is a drunk and a fool. Do not trouble yourself on his something you wanted. Diverus? Well, good riddance to him. It's your coin to spend.
Arasima, Captain. See you at your ship.